discussing about the mathematical analysis of non-recursive algorithm. That first we learned the general plan, right? So what is the general plan? First decide on the parameter, that is input size. What is the size of the input? Next, once the input size is decided, then we'll go to identify the algorithm's basic operation, right? Next, we will check the number of times the basic operation is executed. Next, once we finalize this one, then we'll set up a sum expression. Some expression we'll prepare, and then we'll evaluate the expression so that we'll get the time complexity of that one, right? We'll get the time complexity of that one, right? So for that, we are using some rules. Suppose if you are having like this, right? Suppose if you are having like this, summation I is equals to L to U C A I constant values if you are having. So we will take this constant value outside, and again we will apply, or we will substitute the values of I. So this will be in terms of, suppose if you are having like this A1, A2, A3, and so on up to AN, right? So like this, if we are having values of this type, if I want to represent, then I can go with the this one. Next rule says, suppose if you are having like this combined, so AI plus or minus BI, right? So they can, then we can evaluate that as a separate. You can just see summation I is equals to L to U AI plus or minus, again summation I is equals to L to U BI, right? So all the A terms we are bringing to one side, and all the B terms we are bringing to one side, and then we can evaluate separately, right? This is rearranging of values. Next, if we are having like this, summation I is equals to L to U 1, right? So what is this one? This is the basic operation, the number of times the basic operation is executed, right? So here, if you are having like this, then we will take this upper limit minus lower limit plus 1, that is U minus L plus 1, upper limit minus lower limit plus 1, right? Similarly, if you are having like this, summation I is equals to 1 to N I, so we will just substitute the values for the I. So when I substitute I is equals to 1 means 1, and next if I is equals to 2 means 2, next if I is equals to 3 means 3, and so on up to N. So when we simplify this 1 plus 2 plus 2 up to N, then automatically we will get N into N plus 1 by 2. So we have seen this proof of this one, how we got this one in the previous class, right? And next we discussed one example, and also we tried to find the time complexity of that, right? So what is the example says here? Example says to find the maximum element in an array, right? To find the maximum element in an array. Suppose an array is given. Suppose here, let us take 5, 6, 9, 4, 10, 15, and 50. So how to find maximum element? First we are storing A of 0 as a maximum element. So initially we are having max is equals to A of 0, that is 5. Next time we are comparing this max with the A of 1. So that is, we are comparing this 5 with the A of 1. No means, so this is greater than this max value. So we are storing this max value, that is a 6, A of 1 into max, right? This is the logic of finding the maximum element in a array using a linear fashion, right? Okay. Now we just see. So initially we are storing the A of 0 inside the max variable. Then so from here again we should start from 1 to n minus 1 we should go, right? 1 to n minus 1 we should go, right? So we are using for loop to iterate from 1 to n minus 1. Why? Because each time we should compare the value of max with the iteration variable I, right? So now if A of I is greater than max, then automatically we are storing A of I into the max, right? So here you just see for each iteration I, this if loop comparison is taking place, but this is not executing for each iteration of the I. If A of I is greater than max, then only this statement will be executed. So hence we identified this as a basic operation, that is comparison. Comparison is a basic operation, right? Now first so here the input size is n, and the basic operation is comparison. Next we will find how many times this will be executing, that is basic operation. See, when we are going from here to here, when we are going from here to here, so for each time we should execute comparison operator, right? So it is executing n minus 1 times. It is 1 to n minus 1 times it is executing, right? 1 to n minus 1 times this comparison operator will be executed. So hence this is the number of times the comparison operator will be executed. So hence we will set up a summation expression indicating that summation I is equals to, suppose the loop is 1. So 1 to n minus 1, the basic operation, that is comparison, will be executed one time for each iteration variable. So here this is in the form of this I is equals to 1 to n minus 1. So when we simplify this, so how to simplify this? N minus 1 minus 1 plus 1, right? Upper limit minus lower limit plus 1, that is what this one, upper limit minus lower limit plus 1. So upper limit is n minus 1 here, lower limit is 1, and plus 1 is this one. So n minus 1 minus 1 plus 1. If we simplify this one, so we are getting n minus 1. So it is the order of n. It is the order of n. Here, any confusion with the previous class? Kindly respond, please. Any doubt with the previous class?
No, sir.
Okay, so today let us take one more example. Let me take how to calculate the time complexity of matrix multiplication. Let us take, suppose we are given two matrices A and B, so that we will multiply this two matrices A and B, we will get one more matrix, C matrix. Okay, so here, so we'll let us take a matrix multiplication, right? Matrix multiplication. Again, it is not a recursive, right? It is not a recursive. So it is a non-recursive. Okay. So first, let me take here algorithm. Algorithm matrix multiplication. So we are given two arrays, that is 0 to n is one array, and B from 0 to n is one more array, right? 0 to, so let me take here 0 to n means 0 to n minus 1 it is, right? If array starts from 0, then it will be n minus 1, right? Okay. Now simple. So what is the logic to multiply two matrices? What is the logic? So we will use two for loops, right? We will use two for loops. For I will take, let us take I is equals to 0 to n minus 1. So we will do again for, again one more loop we will take, j is equals to 0 to, again it is also n minus 1. So do what we will do for each time, we should initialize that to 0, right? So c of ij, right? So c of I comma j is equals to 0. Each time we are initializing that to 0. Again we are using one for loop for k is equals to 0 to n minus 1. Do so here we are executing c of I comma j. Cij is equals to, right? C of ij is equals to c of ij plus a of ik into b of kj. Is it right? Next we will return this one, right? So return C. What is C? C is a matrix, resultant matrix, right? So is this right? Is this correct? Algorithm to multiply two matrices. So we are taking two for loops, sorry, three for loops. One is I loop, J loop, and the K loop, right? So how we will execute? Now Now, so first, what is the input size here? According to our general plan, what is the input size? What is the input size here? Input size is n, right? Input size is n. 0 to n minus 1 means 0 to n minus 1 means automatically it will be n, right? So similarly, B matrix also we are having here. Input size is n, right? Now this is first step. What is second step? Identify the basic operation. Identify the basic operation. What is the basic operation we are having here? See, for each I 0 to n minus 1, this j loop will be executed, right? And for each j 0 to n minus 1, so this c of ij will be executed. And for each k is equal to 0 to n minus 1, this statement will be executed. So this is the statement which executes most times, right? Yes or no? Right? This statement will be executing for each k loop, for each j loop, and for each I loop. Any doubt here? So this is the most executable statement. So we will consider this as a basic operation. Again, here we are having one is addition, one is addition is there, right? Again, here we are having one is addition, other one is multiplication is there. Addition and the multiplication is there. So for each I, j and k loop, addition will also be executed and multiplication will also be executed. So the basic operation, we can take anything. Let me take here, it is multiplication, right? Here, don't confuse here. See, for each I, j and k, for each I, j, k, this addition will also be executed and this multiplication will also be executed. So the basic operations we are having this one. So this is the basic statement we are having. So the statement which executes most number of times, right? So here, let me consider this multiplication as a basic operation, right? This, let me consider this as a basic operation, right? So now to just make a summation, third one, you prepare how many times this will be executing. How many times this will be executing? See, for each for k 0 to n minus 1 times this will be executing. Similarly, for j 0 to n minus 1 times also this will be executing. Similarly, for I 0 to n minus 1 times also this will be executing. So it is executing from 0 to n minus 1 3 times, right? So it is this one, right? Now let me take here. So let me take here. So let me take time as m of n is equals to multiplication of n size. You can take whatever you want, okay? So the time is equals to, see, so this statement will be executing for k loop, okay, for k loop 0 to n minus 1, 0 to n minus 1. How many times? For each k loop this will be executing one time, right? For each k loop this statement will be executing one time, basic operation, right? Here, and this entire thing will be executing one time for each j is equals to 0 to n minus 1. For each j loop this entire thing will be executing, right? For each j loop this entire thing will be executing, okay? Again this entire thing, right? Again this entire thing, that is this entire thing will be executing for I is equals to 0 to n minus 1, right? This entire thing will be executing, that is j as well as k will be executing when I is equals to 0 to n minus 1 times, right? Now this basic operation will be executing, for each I, j and k, one time it will be executing, right? So it will be executing k is equals to 0 to n minus 1. This entire thing will be executing 0 to n minus 1 times. Again this entire thing will be executing 0 to n minus 1 times. Clear? Is there any doubt how we got this one? Kindly respond please. Kindly respond,
sir.
please. Okay. Now, if I simplify this one, if we simplify this, so what we will get here? What we will get here? First, you simplify this one, same as previous one. Upper limit minus lower limit plus one. Upper limit minus lower limit plus one. So these two will be as it is. So that is equals to, so I is equals to 0 to n minus 1, j is equals to 0 to n minus 1. And now we will first simplify this one, k terms. So upper limit n minus 1 minus lower limit plus 1, right? Upper limit is n minus 1 minus lower limit is 0 plus 1 as usual. So minus 1 plus 1. So we are left with only n. So that is equals to summation I is equals to 0 to n minus 1. Again summation j is equals to 0 to n minus 1. So we are left with only n, right? We are left with only n. Similarly, you simplify this one. Similarly, when we simplify this, we will get one more n, right? Similarly, when we simplify this, again we will get one more n. So is there any doubt? See, when we simplify this k loop, we are getting the answer as n, right? Similarly, if I simplify this j is equals to 0 to n minus 1, again we'll get the answer as n. So this will be I is equals to 0 to n minus 1, and for this n, and this n will be as it is, right? And this n will be as it is. Yes or no? Next, if we simplify this, so that will be equal to, so again this is n, right? Again this is n. So if I simplify this, again we'll get this as n, and this n into n will be as it is. So n into n into n. So that is equals to n cube. That is equals to n cube. So this is the total amount of time taken for multiplication of two matrices, right? So that is m of n. M of n is equals to this one. M of n is equals to n cube. So what is the order here? What is the order? Order of growth cube, right? So we can write here, worst case it will take n cube time. Worst case it will take n cube time. Here, any doubt here? Kindly respond. Kindly respond, please. Just analyze this one, how we are getting this n cube for matrix multiplication. Okay, how we are getting the n cube for matrix multiplication. See, so we are having one for loop, for I loop, one j loop, and one k loop is there, right? So this is the basic operation. For each I, j, k, this will be executed. So it is the most number of times executable statement. So we will consider this as a basic operation, right? Basic operation. Now for k, for right, see, for k loop it is taking 0 to n minus 1, this one. Again this entire thing will be executed for j loop. Again this entire thing will be executed for I loop. So when we simplify this, upper limit minus lower limit plus 1, so we are getting n. Similarly, if I simplify this j loop, again we are getting n. Similarly, if we are simplifying this, upper limit n minus 1 minus 0 plus 1, so minus 1 plus 1 will be calculated, we are left with only n, and again n. So it is totally n cube. So the order of growth is cube. So it is big O of n cube. Okay. So here, while calculating the time complexity, we will just ignore the constant times. Okay. We will just ignore the constant times. Clear? Any confusion? Kindly respond, please. Kindly respond, please. Why no response? Is there any doubt? You kindly ask me. If you are silent, what can I understand? No answer. Kindly respond, yaar. Is my voice not audible?
Audible, sir.
Okay. So let us take one more example. Let me take one more example. That is element uniqueness problem, right? Element uniqueness problem. So here, what is our goal? So we should check whether all the elements in the given array are distinct or not, right? We should check whether all the elements in the given array are distinct or not. Distinct means, so elements should not be repeated. Elements should not repeat in the array, right? So here, first we'll take, let me take one algorithm, right? So algorithm unique element. So we are given an array 0 to n minus 1, right? So what we should do now? So we should check, suppose if the array is given, right? Suppose if the array is given, so we should check whether all the elements are distinct or not. So how to check? How to check? So if I want to check means I should iterate from here to here. Then only I can say that the element, whether the element is repeating or not, right? If it is repeating, we can say it is false. There is no uniqueness in the elements of the array. Else it is true, right? Else it is true, means all the elements are distinct, right? So now what we should do? We should iterate from here to here, right? So for first we will take this, and this will be compared with all the elements of the array first time. Next time again we will take this, again this we will compare with all the elements of the array, right? Next time we will take this element will be compared with all the elements of the array. Again we will take this element we will compare with all the elements of the array. To just analyze here, so I will take this element as a fixed one, so this element will be compared with all the elements of the array. Next time this element will take fixer, so next we will compare this with all the elements of the array. Means here we are in the need of two looping statements, right? We are in the need of two looping statements, right? Okay, so for, let me take one is I 0 to n minus 2 will take. Why? Because we'll be comparing this element with this one, right? So finally, so when we start with 0, so it will be n minus 1. So we will, I loop will stop here, so that j loop will be here, so that we can compare these two, right? So similarly, for j is equals to, always this should be I plus 1, right? Next time, so this element will be compared. Next time with this element will be compared. So always j will be I plus 1. So I plus 1 to up to where? So when I stops here, n minus 2, so j should be at n minus 1, right? Do, right? So what we will do, we will compare the elements. How to compare? If a of I is equal to a of j, means element is repeating, means there is no uniqueness. Yes or no? if a of I is equals to a of j, if a of I is equals to a of j, so what we should do? So if a of I is equals to a of j means automatically we should return false because element is repeating. That is what we should check, the uniqueness of a element. So here we should return false, right? If a of I is equals to a of j, so the element is repeating, so we should return it as false, else return true. If this condition is not true till the end of this one, then automatically it is true. Means all the elements are unique. Kindly go through with this algorithm once, whether this will work or not. So initially I is equals to 0. So here I will be there. Initially I will be at 0. So j will be I plus 1. So j will be here. If a of I is equals to a of j, means we are comparing these two elements. If a of I is equals to a of j, we are comparing these two elements. No, mean if it is equals, then we are returning false, means both the elements are equal. No means again we will go back, we will not execute this one, we will go back, increment the j for the next one, increment the j for the next one. Again we will compare a of I with j, right? So again these two, now these two are compared. Yes or no? Again, if these two are equal, then we are returning false and we are exiting. Else, so what we are doing? So we are incrementing the j. So like this, j will come up to the here, up to n minus 1. So once one loop is finished, then we will go back and I will be incremented for the next element. Next I plus 1 means, so here j will be there. Now this is finished. Next we will start from rest of the array elements. Like this, it will continue up to the end. Clear? Kindly respond, please.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, now we'll go according to the general plan, right? We should calculate the time complexity of this one. Now we'll go according to the general plan. What is general plan's first statement? Decide on the input size. So what is the input size here? What is the input size here? The array 0 to n minus 1 means, so input is
N, sir.
n. Very good. Next, what is the basic operation? 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 Yes, respond please. ಏನ್ರಪ್ಪ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ವಾ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ? You are not interested in class, huh? Which is a statement will be executed most times here? Is this correct?
A of I is equal to A of J.
Right, for each j loop this will be executing, for each I loop j and this will be executing, means this statement is executing for j as well as for I, right? So here the basic operation is comparison. If a of I is equals to a of j, this is the most executable statement, most number of times this will be executed, right? For each j and for each I, so this statement is executing, right? Now can we prepare expression now? Can we prepare expression? Right? The worst case, how many times this will be executing? So let me take this time as t of n, okay, is equals to t of n is equals to for each j loop, So that is j is equals to I plus 1 to n minus 1. This basic operation is executing one time, right? And this entire thing executing for each I is equals to 0 to n minus 2. Yes or no? Right? This basic operation is executing for each j is equals to I plus 1 to n minus 1 times. This complete thing that is a j loop as well as the basic operation is executing for each I is equals to 0 to n minus 2 times. Clear? Any confusion is there? Kindly respond. Now you solve this one. Now if you solve this, what we will get? What we will get? So let me take this as it is. I is equals to 0 to n minus 2. Here n minus 1 minus of I plus 1. This one lower limit plus 1. This is upper limit minus lower limit is I plus 1 plus 1. Right? Now if we solve this, what we will get? This as it is, I will get I is equals to 0 to n minus 2. So n minus 1 minus I minus 1 plus 1. Is this right? Is this right? So minus 1 plus 1 I will cancel. So we are left with I is equals to 0 to n minus 2 n minus 1 minus I. Right? Is it correct?
Yes,
Kindly
sir.
respond, please. So now you substitute. Now you just see we are having form I is equals to 0 to n minus 2 n minus 1 minus I. Minus I is there here. Minus I is there. If it is like this, so which formula we should use? Which formula we should use? We just see if I is there. If I is there, what I should do? If I is there, what I should do? I should substitute the I value into this one. Correct? I should substitute I value into this one. Are you getting? So I am using this formula. When we are using that, you substitute I value into here. Substitute this I value with I. So what we will get here? What we will get? N minus 1, I is equals to 0. So n minus 1 minus 0. So we are getting n minus 1. Next time, I is equals to 1. So we are getting n minus 1 minus I value is 1. So minus 1 minus 1, n minus 2. Next time, I is equals to 2. So what we are getting? N minus 1. Are you getting confusion? Very simple. It is like this. So summation I is equals to 0 to n minus 2 is there. So here I is there. Right? So sorry, n minus 1 minus I is there. So we are substituting I is equals to 0 at I position. So we are getting, when I is equals to 0, we are getting n minus 1. This is when I is equals to 0. Next time, so n when I is equals to 1. So at I position, n minus 1 minus I is 1. So minus 1 minus 1, n minus 2. When I is equals to 3, so n minus 1 minus, 2. When I is equals to 2, so n minus 1 minus 2. So it is, we are getting n minus 3. When I is equals to 3, so we are getting n minus 1 minus 3. So that is equals to n minus 4 and so on. That is what here we are getting. So n minus 3 plus n minus 4. Is there any confusion? Kindly respond, please. So this will go up to where? Finally we will get 1. Finally we will get 1, right? Okay. Finally we will get 1. Now, so what is the, what I should write here? You just see the formula. What we should write when we are having 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to the n. So here we are having n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3 up to 1 we are having. So by using that rule, that is summation formula, this one, by using this is summation formula 1 and this is summation formula 2. Okay, by using this summation formula 2, so what is the result we are getting? What is the result we are getting? N times n minus 1 by 2. Here, see. So here it is plus 1 was there. N plus 1, n plus 2, like that what was there. But here we are having minus terms. Right? Clear? Kindly respond, please. Okay, so this is what the time complexity for the checking uniqueness of a element in an array. Checking uniqueness of an element in an array of size n. Clear? So here you should learn how to build this summation formula. How to build this summation formula. Once it is ready, then easily you can solve this one. So here, very simple. First, identify the input size. Next, identify the basic operation. Next, you identify the number of times the basic operation is executed. Next, you build this summation expression. Once you build the summation expression, then you evaluate this by using either rules or summation formulas. Clear? Kindly respond, please.
Yes, sir.